This is how the new Saramonic Blink500 ProX wireless microphone system sounds without any post-production editing. I'm quite far away from the camera, I would say roughly 10 meters away, but in an area with a lot of Wi-Fi interference. I have restaurants, hotels, lots of places with interference around me. I'm hoping for a strong signal because the Blink500 ProX has an operating range of up to 100 meters with a latency of only 8 milliseconds. Quick disclaimer though, Saramonic did provide me this product for review, but this video is not sponsored. With that said, let me show you what you get inside the box. You'll find a compact hard shell charging case, 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, 2 transmitter windscreens, a soft case, 2 lavalier microphones, USB-C to USB-A charging cable, and a 3.5mm camera and smartphone cables. The Blink500 ProX has a similar design to the previous Blink500 Pro, but everything is more compact and efficient. Starting with the charging box, it's now a bit thinner, lighter, with a USB-C charging port, which will charge everything in under 3 hours. The battery capacity has been increased from 2000 mAh to 3000 mAh, resulting in increased overall battery life. And when you open the new box, it will also turn on, off, and pair everything for you. Examining the transmitters and receivers in greater detail, we have a couple of improvements. They are a little lighter and thinner. Instead of a micro USB port, there is a USB-C port. You can monitor the audio with a 3.5mm headphone jack on the receiver and output either in mono or stereo for more flexibility in post-production. The battery life has been increased from approximately 8 hours to up to 10.5 hours, and it is immediately compatible with any device. It is compatible with cameras, smartphones, tablets, and laptops. Audio quality has also been improved by raising the signal-to-noise ratio from 78 dB to 84 dB. I am not sure what these numbers mean. Please let me know down below if you do. Nonetheless, based on my recent experience with this microphone, I can say with certainty that the audio quality is fantastic. It might even outperform the Rode Wireless Go 2, which unfortunately I don't have anymore to test out, but I do have the Rode Lavalier Go, so let's put it up against the lavalier microphone from the Blink500 ProX. Alright, this is how the Blink500 ProX lavalier microphone sounds like without any post-production editing, of course. And one more thing that I forgot to mention about the transmitters is that once you're going to mount this fluffy wind muff, okay, so you're going to put it in, it's not going to fall off from the transmitters like on the Rode Wireless Go 1, so it's very secure on the transmitters. Anyhow, let me now put the Rode Lavalier Go and let's see if it sounds any different or better than the Blink500 ProX lavalier microphone. Okay, and right now I'm recording with the Rode Lavalier Go lavalier microphone, and of course I'm not going to do anything in post-production to enhance the audio. I've already listened to both of these microphones before recording this video, and in my opinion the Lavalier Go does sound better than the Blink500 ProX lavalier microphone, and I think it should because the Lavalier Go costs on its own like $80 to $90, so it's much more expensive. With the Blink500 ProX you get these lavalier microphones included in the package. Okay, I'm back to using the built-in microphone on the transmitter. Now let's get into operating distance and signal strength. According to Saramonic, the Blink500 ProX has an operating range of up to 100 meters. I have tested it in a couple of different locations, in an open area with no interference and in the city with lots of Wi-Fi interference. When I was using it in an area where there was Wi-Fi interference, the signal wasn't strong at all. I was able to move maybe 10 meters away from the camera and then the signal would drop constantly. And I think it was because I was in the center of the city where there was a lot of hotels, restaurants, and so on. Alright, and now I am in an area where there's lots of Wi-Fi interference. There are hotels, restaurants, smartphones, lots of interference. Hopefully the signal is going to test. I'm roughly 10 meters away from the camera, something like that. If the signal drops or not. And keep going back till the here. The signal became much stronger and more reliable after I relocated to an area with little to no Wi-Fi interference. I was able to move about 100 meters away from the camera while maintaining a consistent signal. Alright, let's see how this microphone performs pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Test, 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 test. I am now about 7 meters away from the camera. Let me do a quick spin with my body. Test, 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 test. Hopefully the signal is still strong. Going backwards, backwards, backwards. Test, 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 test. And I am now about 20 meters away from the camera. Let me move around a little bit. Turn around with my body. Test, 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 test. Just walking around here from side to side. Testing, testing. Okay. Let's go more back. And now I am about, I would say, 30, 35 meters away from the camera. Test, 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 test. Let me go here to the side and let's see if the connection drops or not. Testing, 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 testing. Testing the Saramonic Blink500 ProX. Test, 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 test. Okay. And I'm still going back away from the camera. Test, test. I'm now about 50 meters away from the camera and I am still facing the camera. Let me do a quick spin with my body. Test, 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 test. And now let's go as back as far as possible and see when the connection drops. Now I am about 60, 65 meters away from the camera and now about 70 meters away from the camera. There's a cow in the background if you can hear. Test, 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 test. Now I'm about 80 meters away from the camera. Spin. Go here to the side, to the temple. Hopefully the connection is still strong. Test, 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 test. And I think now I'm roughly 100 meters away from the camera. So I really hope the signal is still strong. Test, 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 test. In conclusion, the Blink500 ProX outperforms the Blink500 Pro. It's more compact, has better sound quality, and produces a consistent signal when used in an area with little to no interference. However, there is no built-in audio recorder, and the signal will be unreliable if used in an area with interference. I hope you found this video to be informative and useful. If not, click the dislike button down below twice, and yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.